the Brazilian GP truly was an exceptional race. Safety cars, spins, DNFs, teammates fighting over grid positions. It truly had it all. Max Verstappen has primarily been pointed out to be the bad guy in recent days, but Leclerc has had his say as well, and he wasn't too happy with Ferrari's decision. Stay tuned to find out why Leclerc blasted Ferrari for their decisions. If Ferrari had not been concerned that Carlos Sainz may be punished for a safety car incident involving Yuki Tsunoda, Sainz would have likely been requested to give his podium at the Brazilian Grand Prix to teammate Charles Leclerc. Leclerc finished an excellent comeback effort after being knocked into the barriers by Lando Norris while battling for third at the race's first safety car restart. Sainz and Leclerc finished third and fourth on the final laps. Given that he entered the race 6 points behind Red Bull's Sergio Perez in their battle to finish second in the World Championship this year, Leclerc begged Ferrari to please think about the championship on team radio. Leclerc, who was warned that moving up to replace Sainz would be too risky, remained in fourth place. The risk that Ferrari was concerned about was twofold. First, it was unsure that Sainz wouldn't be penalized for passing the lapped Yuki Tsunoda on the final lap of the second safety car period. Secondly, Leclerc had Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen immediately behind him, which may complicate any team change. Swapping the two cars on the last straight was certainly tricky, because Charles had got Fernando and Max just behind. So swapping them would have been tricky and somehow dangerous. Team principal Mattia Binotto explained, when the safety car was deployed on lap 55 to get Lando Norris's broken-down McLaren out of the road, he and Williams duo Alex Albon and Nicholas Latifi were the only drivers behind. When Tsunoda conducted a pit stop, he briefly rejoined the lead lap since he was moving quicker in the pit entry than the cars behind the safety car on track, and he effectively passed them. However, the FIA timing system noted him as having unlapped himself already. When the Williams drivers started unlapping themselves properly ahead of the restart, he did the same. However, the timing system considered him to have already unlapped himself as a result of the pit stop anomaly, even though he was back one lap behind as soon as he made the stop. Tsunoda was left on the road between Perez in third place and Sainz in fourth place, eager to advance at the restart after having just pitted for soft tires. When Tsunoda refused to unlap, the perplexed Sainz repeatedly came alongside him before passing him on the straight following the Senna S and declaring over the team radio, "If he doesn't want to unlap, I go through." Next, Valtteri Bottas questioned Alfa Romeo, "Can I pass him?" To which he was immediately told yes, since Tsunoda would be pulling aside after the first safety car control line to let the rest of the lead lap cars pass. Leclerc passed Bottas into the opening corner after he had to wait for this to happen. Race control appears to have swiftly satisfied Ferrari that there would be no punishment given the perplexing scenario surrounding Tsunoda's position amid all the lead lap cars, even though Sainz's maneuver gave him a cleaner run at the restart than others who had remained trapped behind Tsunoda. Ferrari, though, did not feel secure enough in Sainz's position to take the chance of following team orders and sending him closer to the closely packed rear of the field. At the same time, Verstappen refused Red Bull's request to move his teammate up to sixth place on the basis that he had a grudge against Perez for an unnamed event from earlier in the season, creating a more dramatic team orders refusal for Leclerc's championship rival for second place, Perez. During his post-race comments, Red Bull team principal Christian Horner made many attempts to draw attention to the fact that Ferrari had a team orders dispute of its own, referring to Red Bull's internal conflict as a little bit less public than Ferrari's. Leclerc responded that he was startled when the media asked him about Ferrari turning down his team orders request because he thought there had been a pre-race agreement that Sainz would let him through in such a circumstance. Leclerc first thought Ferrari had simply decided it didn't want to deny Sainz a podium finish. But Ferrari sporting director Laurent Mekies radioed Leclerc on the slowing down lap to indicate there was a specific reason why team orders weren't enforced that he would be briefed on later. "I kind of understand that obviously Carlos is on the podium," said Leclerc, "but I normally never ask these types of things. I did because we had a discussion before the start of the race mentioning this case, and for some reason we changed our mind. In the heat of the moment, that was very frustrating, but it's like this." After the race, Sainz was shocked to be questioned about the denied team orders request because he was unaware of what Leclerc had requested or the reasons it had been denied. "I got to know this at the end of the race because to me on the radio, nothing came to my engineer or the team," he said. "So I just got to know this half an hour ago when I jumped out of the car, so I have nothing to comment." Leclerc and Perez are currently tied on 295 points heading into this weekend's Abu Dhabi finale, while Mercedes' 1-2 finish at the Brazilian Grand Prix has allowed it to cut the gap on Ferrari for second place in the constructors' standings to just 19 points. Leclerc will claim second place on countback because he has won 3 races this year compared to Perez's 2. If Leclerc and Perez remain tied, either because neither scored at Yas Marina, or if one finishes 9th and the other one is 10th but takes fastest lap. Asked by the media how much the championship runner-up spot meant to him given it had prompted him to ask for team orders, Leclerc replied, "It's always nicer. We are trying to do everything to be second in the teams. I would like us also to look at second in the drivers." As the number 1 spot is already filled, we are left with a battle for second between Perez and Leclerc. Each have their own specialties. Leclerc has obviously been an amazing talent over the last couple of years, and this year with good car, he has been able to pick up 3 wins, but his raw talent means that he sometimes makes mistakes or is too eager to perform, causing him to lose points. On the other hand, Perez doesn't exactly have the raw pace that Leclerc shows us, but he does have a lot of racecraft. He has been in F1 for a while and has finally been able to drive in a championship-worthy car. The Minister of Defense regularly shows his racecraft that deserved him that seat. His tire management is exceptionally good, and his defense even better. But will that be enough to secure the second place in the championship? Who knows? Who do you think will end up being the second best driver of 2022? And was Leclerc right for being mad at the team? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. That's all for now. We are in for an amazing last race of the season, and then it's a wrap for the 2022 F1 season. And what a season it was! If you've enjoyed today's video, consider subscribing to the channel so you will see more of our videos. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.